right. Well, thank you so much, for taking the time here today, Liang Na. It's really great getting to talk to you. Been wanting to do it for a while. And, I got to start with a big congratulations on getting the UFC contract and the fight coming up. I just got to know, what was your reaction to getting this opportunity when you did?
She's really excited for the opportunity because for any fighter who trains mixed martial art, the UFC is like a dream stage for them. So it is a dream come true.
Absolutely, I can imagine. And you're still very young, not even 25 yet. Did you imagine to be in the UFC before, even at this stage?
Yes, she has thought about it, and even when like she's younger, like few years ago, she had an opportunity came to say like she might sign with UFC, but they turned down the offer and because they still considering she's a bit too young for get into the octagon.
And I'm sure that made you a lot more motivated to get here now, right?
UFC. When she first got the offer to sign with UFC, which is around 2017 or 2018, she didn't think she didn't believe she had enough experience or skill to sign with UFC. So the team turned down the offer. But since then, she always motivate herself about the opportunity to try to sign with UFC again.
Yeah, definitely. And you got to kind of get this contract as going through the UFC Combine and the Performance Institute process. And I'm just curious, what that was like and how helpful it has been, having this facility. How helpful has it been for your development, you think?
The experience here in Performance Institute really helped her a lot. So here in PI, you got to train very scientifically, and the teams will help you to strengthen your weaknesses. It was because of the last 2 year training in the UFC Academy made her to have enough confidence to sign with the UFC.
State of the art facility, from what I've seen, looks awesome, and can't imagine it not being helpful. But I already mentioned, that you're still very young in this sport, and started very young in 2016 with your MMA debut. I'm just kind of curious, what led you to get into the sport in the first place?
So around 2016, at that time she was a wrestler, and by incident she got to see uh, high reel of Ronda Rousey fighting, and she started had some interest of the sports. She thought wrestling has too many restrictions which cannot allow a like martial artist to do everything. So then she got interested in mixed martial art.
Very cool, very cool. And I imagine has Rhonda kind of been an inspiration for you, somebody that you kind of want to strive to be in your career?
Yeah, when she first started doing MMA, she Ronda is the girl she looks up to because they have similar fight style, both strong grappler. So she would say Ronda is her idol.
Yeah, definitely a good person to want to be like with the career that she had. But you've already had a whole lot of fights yourself going on. You've actually had more than Ronda Rousey, in a short span of time. So just having experienced all that you have in your career so far, has there been something that, maybe you've learned the most from throughout your career?
She learned what she learned about from this sports is you always have to improve your weakness because she has very how to say very obvious or fighting style. She is such a strong grappler, so she has always to improve her weakness during the training.
Yeah, always improvements to be made. So understandable there. And, getting ready, like we mentioned, for the big UFC debut and at UFC 261, which is a very big card, that you're getting to fight on, where full crowds are going to be back, your second fight in America, all that stuff. I mean, Do you feel any pressure at all getting to perform on, this big stage for your first UFC fight?
For her, it's like the excitement is overwhelmed the nerve. So that what she's feeling right now.
Of course. And, like I said, this is going to be your second fight in America. Your first one was in Bellator back in 2017. And do you think it's helpful that, you got to have that experience of kind of getting used to a fight in a different time zone, all that stuff before, ahead of this UFC fight?
Last time, the whole experience it was like kind of struggling. It's not most because of the time zone and time difference. It's because of the diet and weight cut. So she's more concerning about her diet and weight cut this time and how much weight she can put on after weighing.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that too, because most of your career has been, up at flyweight. You've only had, what I believe, two fights at strawweight, your last two or three or so. So I'm just curious, what kind of made you decide to make the move down in weight classes recently?
Because the when she fought in flyweight division, she didn't feel like has a size advantage. So the coaches and all the teams after the discussion, they think she has more advantage fighting at strawweight.
Yeah, I mean, hard to argue. It's been working out so far, and just with that in mind too, being in the strawweight division now in the UFCs in particular, incredible division. I think everybody will say that it's probably the best among the female fighters in the world. So, does that excite you to be a part of such a deep weight class? And just what are your thoughts on strawweight and all the other fighters in it?
For her, it's like she can say, especially for Chinese female fighters, the strawweight is super competitive. But comparing with other fighters, she believes she's different and she has a strength compared with them as well. So she hopes she can get the result or the final goal she set up.
Yeah, and you mentioned the great Chinese fighters that are in the strawweight division already. Of course, the champion Zhang Weili, and then Yan Xiaonan also doing great things. And Zhang Weili is going to be defending her title, on the same card as you. How cool is that, kind of to be on that same card with her? And you're helping show the strength of Chinese MMA, I think.
For fighter like Zhang Weili, Liang Na believe they are the pioneer. She's the younger generation. So fighting on the same card with John, even watching her fight, she can gain a lot of experience.
Would you say that it is important for you to be a strong representative of your country, China, because still a lot of fighters coming out of there and bursting onto the scene, making great impressions, as I mentioned, Yan Xiaonan, and then obviously the champion in Zhang Weili. But is it important for you to represent China as a good MMA fighter, or do you not think about that?
So she believes China already show its power in the richness of the fighters in mixed martial art since Weili becoming a champion. But if one day like two contenders can fight, two contenders who are both from China can fight enough title fight, then at that time we'll show China's MMA has reached another level.
Yeah, hard to deny that. And I think, we're getting very close to it. So that's an exciting thought indeed. But it's also very exciting, a matchup that you have, for your UFC debut, taking on Ariane Carnelossi. And I'm just curious, what do you think of this matchup with her? What do you know about her? And how do you expect it to kind of go down?
So she watched the opponent's last fight and saw that was a tough. She was a tough girl because she finished the fight via doctor stoppage. But she believes she's a better fighter and she finished the fight.
Yeah, and for you, is it kind of important to be an exciting fighter and more so a finisher? Because all of your wins have been by finishing your career so far. Is it kind of important to you to keep that trend going?
She want to keep this tradition going because she think that that's why she's so unique because she has very high finish rate. So she want to keep this tradition going.
Yeah, definitely a very unique thing to see, and you know, quite good at it. So excited to see you continue that going forward. All right, just two last things I got for you, Liang Na. Thank you so much again. I'm curious, you know, when outside of MMA stuff, when you're not busy with training or preparing for a fight, whatever it may be, you know, what are some things that you like to do just outside of MMA and just little hobbies you might have?
Drawing. She likes drawing, painting. Like.
Okay, very cool. Do you have a specific like type of thing that you like to paint, or just whatever comes to mind?
Cartoon.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. And last thing I'll leave you with here, Liang Na. Nickname. You know, you got a great nickname, I think, Dragon Girl. Just curious, what's the origin story behind that? How did that come to be?
因为我们馆龙运综合格斗嘛，就是一直追我一个女孩子，所以大家就自然而然的就这么叫。That's because of the her name of her gym is a dragon in the cloud. That's what their fight gym is, and she's the only girl of that gym, so that's how the nicknames came up.
All right, well, that's perfect. It's very fitting then. Makes sense. All right, well, that is all I got for you, Liang Na. Thank you so much. A big shishi. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm very much looking forward to the fight. I'll be there, so I'll get to see you there for the debut. And just wish you the best of luck leading up to then, and safe travels. You know, once you get to going to Florida. And just thank you so much.
谢谢，麻烦了，辛苦了。
Oh, hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like this video and want to see more like it, give it a like and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. Until then, we'll see you next time.